In this recording, I'm going to go over how you can attach a rubric to an assignment, and then what you see on the other side of that once a student submits work to you through the Dropbox, and how they would see that. So the first thing is, I'm in my editor, and I would go to Add to my course. And I would go and select the assignment template. And from here, I would give it a title. So for this one, I'm going to say Gideon's rubric template. In the content area here, you can add a number of things. So I'm going to say, here you would describe your assignment. And you can add media, so pictures and video, as well as tables, bullets, links, and even embed code. So just a note here, if I wanted to embed a table, you just click Table, Insert Table, and it'll give you some information about all those things that you wanted to add, so the number of rows, number of columns, cell padding, spacing, color, alignment, and all that other good stuff if you wanted to add that. Your bullets or options are here. You have normal formatting, justify left, right, center, adding a link here. And note that you can also add course links here, so if you have other content in the course, you can add that, or outside URLs. And then, of course, any sort of image. And the nice thing here is you can just drag and drop an image into this content box. And you can also insert a YouTube video. And here's the embed code. If you're a math teacher, you can also insert an equation here as well. But for this instance, I'm just going to give a very generic sort of content description here. So let's say you have a writing assignment, or maybe a presentation, like a Google slideshow that you want them to turn in. So you'd give all of your directions on this content box, and for the sake of this one, I'm just going to say, do this, then this, make sure to include this, share your documents or slide show with me. And lastly, turn it in through Oasis on this Dropbox. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my gradebook. And since this is an assignment, it already has gradebook settings attached to it. If I wanted to choose a due date, I certainly could. I would encourage you to always allow late submissions, because you as the teacher, I want to give the most flexibility in how you apply your class rules. And I would just keep it to this, always allow late submissions, because what it's going to do for you is it will flag any late submissions, but it won't lock them out. And at this point, I think that's probably the easiest thing to do, because there's always going to be extenuating circumstances where a student was unable to submit something for whatever reason. Regardless, you as a teacher want to be able to see if they turned it in late, how late they turned it in, and then you can apply whatever grace you want to. There are other detailed things you can go into more in here, but I would just encourage you to always allow it if you're going to use a due date, and then always allow those late submissions. So this is where we would change the score entry. So notice here that under score entry it has %. I'm going to then change this to a rubric. And since I don't have any rubrics set up in this course, I'm going to have to add a rubric. If I had rubrics already in this course, little links would be here and they would be listed right down here. But since I don't, I'm going to have to create one. So this would be, the first level would be, so for example, it would be like a low, mid, high, as an example. And this might be style, and then you would give a description of not much style, good style, excellent style. Just forgive the really basic expressions here or descriptions, but in your rubric you would give as much description as you want. And notice here, this range, this is 0 to 33, it's split this into 3 even categories, and you can change these levels too. So let's say 0 to 50 is going to be, or to 59 is going to be my low. Then it's going to split this and bump it up a little bit more. And then maybe I want to say 60 to 75 is going to be here. So this is the top end of this category, 75, 75, 59, 59. And then I want another layer. So I would just hit the plus down here. And then for this criteria, I want this criteria to be my content. And again, very little content, good content, excellent content. Again, same thing, change those criteria of what you think fits that, and you can add quite a few layers to this. The other thing that I like about this is, let's say, take a look at these two categories, content and style. Well, what's really going to be more important to you as a teacher? Is style and content worth equal points? If not, what we can do is we can take this max value and increase it. So let's say I want 200 to be this content, to have this content be worth 200 rather than 100. So then, again, we can do that same type of thing. So that means that if I have 100, that's going to be half of this about, and then maybe 150, and then 200. That's going to give me a better spread of what I'm looking for, the value of this particular criteria. Okay, I'm going to do one more here just for grins. So we have style, we have content, and then I'm going to say presentation, because this is going to be a presentation. Well spoke, oh, sorry. Not clearly presented. Clearly presented. Excellent presentation. Stop. Okay, and I'm just going to save this. Now you'll notice that it's changed from add rubric to edit rubric, and if I want to delete it, I just press this. So because this is a presentation, and because they will need a place to turn this in, they will also need a drop box. So I am going to add a document. It can be single or multiple. I'm just going to put multiple here. It just gives them more options. And that's it. I don't really need to do much more than that. Then make sure I add my rubric, edit the rubric, add the drop box, and click Save. Okay, let me show you then what this looks like for the student. Okay, so now I'm in as a student, and I want to show you what this looks like on the student side. When they open up this assignment, here are the directions, just like before. Here are the details, just like before. Submission history, analytics. And here's that rubric again. And here's the Dropbox. So after they've created their document, they will come back to Oasis, show the Dropbox. They will be able to choose their Google document to upload it. Okay. If they need to, they can also insert video or audio or any text if they need to give you any information there. For this instance, I'm just going to go into my Google Documents here really quickly as an example, and I'll just filter to presentations just so we can pull one in really quickly. How about we'll pull in this one. Okay, that will be attached right here. They then hit submit, It says you've successfully submitted this assignment, and that's it. So now when they see this and they click on the I, it shows as status completed, shows them exactly what it is. Okay, so now let me switch back to the teacher view and show you what a teacher sees once a student has turned this in, because this is where it really gets nice. So imagine if you had a presentation or an essay, or it could be any sort of creation really, that you need a template to grade it. As the teacher, you would go into your gradebook, and all of your students would be here, and your assignment would be here. When you go to grade this assignment, this is where it gets really, really seamless. You'll notice that the first thing that I see is the PowerPoint that they have created. So the document that they have created is right here. So I can click through the document if I need to review it and see what they've submitted. Okay, and then right below it I have my rubric. And here's another nice part. Instead of having to type in and just see it, you can literally just click it. It will automatically give you the highest points within the category. If I don't like the highest points in that category, I can change this. If I say, well, I really think this is an 87, it will automatically bump it to the correct category, and it will adjust your score. And then for the last one, put it here, and look what happens. It automatically tallies all those scores and puts it right here. If I had another student in this course, I would have a couple of arrows in this area that I just toggle to the next one, and I could give the same feedback or the same grading scheme as I have right here embedded in one place. So the beautiful thing about this is you don't have to flip back from screen to screen to grade. Your rubric is right here. Your students have access to the rubric the whole time. If you wanted to, you could give any sort of feedback here. Again, you can maybe give a little video feedback if you want. Sometimes that's a lot quicker, or simply audio. So record your thoughts on why you think that they got that particular area. You'll notice here I can also leave feedback just for this area. So for example, if I said if they got this mid instead of a high, you can give any reasoning why, or tell them how you can do a little bit better next time in that category. At the very bottom here, you'll notice you can also just do full credit. So if they did a great job, come down here just real quickly, full credit. I love the ability to be able to just click for the categories and it tallies up that score for you. Once you're through, you submit the score, or you go on to the next student, which also will submit the score. So that is the rubric in a nutshell. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.